One, two. If this is it, having a little technical difficulty. Technical difficulty. Okay, nice to be here on this Monday night. Nice to be here, and welcome one, welcome all. Did I say that again? Welcome one, welcome all. Come on in. Welcome to Aware and Convinced. Aware there's a problem, convinced we got to do something about it, right? Now, last time that we talked, we had a good time. Talked to some folks out there, and let's see if we can get some folks in here now today on this beautiful Monday after Easter weekend. Hope you all had a nice Weester? Yep. Hope you had a nice Weester. A nice Weester weekend. Yeah. I had a nice Easter weekend. It was nice. Very nice. So anyway, let's see where are we here? Bear with me. Okay. Bear with. I should have been more prepared, but I'm not. Okay, that's that. And let's do this. Straighten this out. That's that. Okay, that should do it. Let's see. Super. So we're in business there, and we're in business over here, and that makes me feel good. Which one is that now? Don't need that one anymore. Let's do this over here. All right, beautiful. So I hope everybody did have a nice weekend. We had a good time. Well, we had a quiet weekend, but it was very nice. A little ice water on the side. And yeah, it was a good weekend. Was at the church on Saturday, and Sunday. And they had some beautiful services both days. So, how are you doing today? Doing good? Just drop a note in chat. Let me know how you're feeling today. If you're out there. Yeah, I know you're out there somewhere. So, drop me a little note. Let me know how you're feeling. And what happened there? Okay. Why did that disappear? Oh, I'm in great shape here. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. So we're going to spend a little time together here and get sober or stay sober together here. My name is Glenn. I'm a recovered alcoholic, and welcome to my live channel, Aware and Convinced. And this is live video number 5. Number 5. I'm going to have to write these down. This is 5. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get to the end of the month. Live video number 5. So what we're going to do here is take a journey into recovery, and hopefully you'll join me on that. If you are recovered, that's great. If you're in recovery, super. And if you're just looking for some information or just want to hang out, chit chat, maybe you have some questions, just shoot me a chat, and we'll see what we can do for you. So basically, this would be, excuse me, our journey. And the journey, of course, into recovery starts with one little step, baby steps. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one little step. So I'm really glad you're here. Welcome, welcome one, welcome all. So I'm a recovered alcoholic, drank for 40 plus years. And by the grace of God, been sober now over 5,000 days. My brain isn't totally mush, but it's getting there. Thank God. It didn't turn into mush, not yet. 40 years of drinking is a long time. And I think back in the day when I first found alcohol, I was an alcoholic from day one. And stuck with me for a long time. But now we're going on 15 years and glad of it. Changed my life. Did change my life, totally. And this channel isn't about shame or blame. It's about honesty, accountability, and the raw reality of addiction. And the power of hope and recovery. And, recovery doesn't erase the past, but it does give us a chance to be forgiven for our part in it. One honest step at a time, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time sometimes. So that's how I stayed sober. 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. And sometimes it wasn't easy. So if you make a little commitment to get sober, if you're not, or if you're in recovery, to stay in recovery, not have a relapse. And that is the name of the game. So this stream is something I decided to put together. I've had some challenges back in the day, which wasn't that long ago, a couple years ago, when I lost my wife to an overdose. And that changed me a lot and gave me a goal. And this stream is one of those goals. And she was one of those people in addiction that just couldn't get out of it, couldn't recover. She was in and out, in and out, in and out, relapse constantly, and just couldn't do it. And eventually her addiction caught up with her and got the better of her, put it that way. So I want you to, it doesn't really matter what your addiction is, whether it's food, drugs, alcohol, porn, sex, I don't care what it is. You're welcome here. This is a safe place for you. And your refuge, your home away from home, if you want to look at it that way, that's great too. And what we're going to try to do is be here each evening for you for about an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, just depends. But got to start somewhere, right? So I know that when my wife was alive, we had talked about possibly doing a live stream together, but for some reason never got to it. And so I'm going to try to do that now. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story and along the way, how I recovered, how I stay quit, how my higher power, whom I choose to call God, finally made it happen for me. And yes, I believe in miracles because I am one. And if you're new in recovery, don't let the God thing take you out, because your drug of choice will do that for you without any problem at all. Take it from me. I know that for a fact. All right. So the name of the channel and the stream is Aware and Convinced. Seems like a fitting name, considering the topic. To get sober and stay sober, you've got to be, and again, this is my opinion only, you've got to be aware and convinced. Aware of your problem and convinced that a complete change has to happen and it'll happen from your higher power, help from your higher power, I should say, and help from yourself. You've got to make a commitment to that change if you want to get sober and stay sober. If you don't, then there's plenty of other streams out there that you can visit. Plenty. Sobriety can happen for you. It really can. It's happened to millions of others. It can happen to you, but you got to want it more than anything else in the world. That means before your spouse, your partner, your significant other, your kids, the job, the car, the bills, before anything, your recovery, your desire for recovery comes first, number one. And I know that's not easy. I had an experience early in my sobriety where my partner said to me, God bless her, I liked you better when you were drinking. Well, that's the way it goes. I'm not drinking anymore. So I guess I'm not going to be fun anymore. I'm going to be more serious. I'm going to pay the bills on time. I'm going to make sure that the car doesn't get repoed. I'm going to make sure that we don't get thrown out of a house. A house. Make sure there's money in the bank. So sometimes it's very hard, but it's well worth it in the end. For you. For you. So, a little bit about me. Like I said before, I started drinking 40 plus years ago and stayed with it all that time until I was forced to go to AA by the judge for the DUI. And my first trip to AA was a real adventure because I didn't understand a word they were saying. They were all speaking Chinese as far as I was concerned. I didn't have anything to do with it, want anything to do with it. I was just going there because the judge sent me, and that was that. Went in, went out, got the paper signed, took it back. That was that. Until it wasn't. First thing I did out of my first AA meeting is I went and got a beer after the meeting. That tells you how serious I was about getting sober at that time. So I'm not here to lecture you about addiction. According to Wikipedia, an addiction is a biopsychological situation whereby an individual's functionality is dependent on the necessitated reconsumption of a psychoactive substance, whatever that is. So that's your basic alcoholism or drug addiction. And it should say psychoactive substance that leads to consequences. That sums it up. So that's Wikipedia's brief definition of addiction. We're just going to talk about real stuff, life stuff, no fluff, honest talk, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens of getting sober and living in recovery, no matter what your issue is. Okay? I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV. Everything I say is based on my experience and Christian principles. Okay. So we'll talk about alcohol, drugs. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. If you're just getting sober now, hang in there. It gets easier. It gets better. And let me be real with you. Just because you get sober and you're in recovery doesn't mean life is going to be sunshine, unicorns, and rainbows all the time. It's not. There are going to be storms. Big storms, terrible storms, life storms. It gets hard. Life gets hard. Terrible. Heartbreaking. Really hard. But through it all, by the grace of God and your commitment, you won't have to drink, you won't have to use, you won't have to pursue your addiction, whatever it is. And I can only speak for myself, of course, but that's the one thing I won't compromise on anymore, even though I'm still a work in progress. Do I have issues? Oh, yeah, I do. I have issues. Yep. I still have the occasional panic attack and anxiety, but I try to work through it the best I can without using a drug or alcohol. What do? I think about God in a big way. And that helps a lot. Faith. So, with all that being said, I hope that I can give you a little spark, a little hope, a little boost, a little faith, spark, push, kick in the butt, maybe even a laugh or two, to just keep going and keep moving on, because moving forward, moving on, it's too easy for us to fall back. That's our problem. We do fall back too many times. So keep moving forward. And I believe you can do this. I do. I believe you can do it. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Anybody can get sober, stay sober, and enjoy recovery. Okay, whether it takes 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 minute at a time, it does work, and you can do it. Being sober will change your life forever. And you live a lot longer and happier life too. Take it from me. All right, because if I'd kept going, I wouldn't be here right now. I'm pretty sure of that. I think my liver would probably have exploded or something along those lines. Or I'd been in a car wreck or arrested again or in a prison. Who knows? But thank God I did quit. And I got to thank God for the whole thing, because if it wasn't for my faith in God and my spiritual experience, which I can get into a little bit later, I wouldn't be here. That's for sure. I believe that for a fact. If you decide it's a little too much trying to get sober, trying to stay in recovery, and you can't do it anymore, just remember that Pain, Mr. Pain, Pain, is waiting outside your door for you. He's pacing up and down the street, and he's just waiting for you to come out, and he'll treat you right. Mr. Pain, he'll do it right for you. Pain will make pain. Real pain. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. So if you're ready to leave the old life behind and start building a new one, or just strengthening your sobriety that you've got right now, stick around a little bit. Join me. Join us. And we'll get through this together. Okay? So some of the resources that I use, this is very good. It's called the Life Recovery. There it is. The Life Recovery Workbook. It's excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. They're all excellent. The Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Great resource. Another great resource. The Blue Book, NA. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So we use all those for resources. Oh, and one more, which I cannot forget. Absolutely cannot forget. Why do I have that sticker on there? I don't know. We'll put it over here. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that in the light. It is the Celebrate Recovery Bible. There it is. Celebrate Recovery Study Bible. Excellent. Got this off of Amazon. And it's great. It's great. When it comes to recovery, Celebrate Recovery. That's what I go to now. I did go to AA for years. Now I go to Celebrate Recovery at my church every Tuesday night. And it's excellent. It's excellent. Okay, now why is it so excellent? Well, it's a little bit different than AA because it does have 8 principles instead of the 12 steps. Okay. The 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, probably everybody's familiar with, or NA. It's all the same. They just want to get you sober and get you there. 12 steps. Number 1, we admitted that we were powerless over our problems and our life had become unmanageable. They put problems in there. That's kind of the generic 12-step number 1. With AA, of course, powerless over alcohol or powerless over drugs. Alcohol is a drug, right? Step 2 came to believe that we had a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And step 3 made a decision to turn our wills and our lives over to the care of God as we understood God. Same with Alcoholics Anonymous, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Okay? Don't let the God thing freak you out, take you out. All right? You don't have to do anything major about understanding God, what the plan is He has for you. Don't worry about it at this point. Okay? But that's what we're talking about tonight. Oh, sorry. Forgot. Celebrate Recovery Bible. Now, Celebrate Recovery has 8 principles instead of 12 steps, but they're all the same. Basically the same. They just want to get you to sobriety, to recovery, whatever your problem happens to be. Principle 1 is realize I'm not God. I admit that I'm powerless to control my tendency to do the wrong thing and that my life is unmanageable. Well, yeah, I did the wrong thing for many years. Principle 2, earnestly believe that God exists. There's a giant step. That I matter to Him and that He has the power to help me recover. That also is in line with step 2. And then principle 3, consciously choose to commit all my life and will to Christ's care and control. Step 3. That is principle 3. It also is in line with step 3 of the 12 steps. Okay? So that's what we're talking about tonight. Step 3. We already talked about step 1. Step 2 in the last video, and this is step 3. I did mention step 3 a little bit in the last video as well, but no problem with a little review, right? Doesn't hurt anybody. We can talk about it. And if you have a little comment, questions, comments, just put them in the chat section. Be happy to talk with you, chat with you, and hit the like and subscribe. Appreciate that, and that'll help me get the message out to more people. That's what it's all about. Let's get the message out. All right. Recovery is possible. All right. I'm looking at my other computer here because okay. I want to no, that isn't what I want to do. Where is it? Where am I? Okay. Well, maybe I should just go in here. Right? And refresh the screen. No, that doesn't do it either. All right, what's going on? Well, let's just close that all the way down then. We can close that down. Let's go over here. Everybody's watching Artemis go to the moon, huh? And go around the moon. Amazing. Okay. I can't seem to locate anything here. Okay, let's do this. There it is. I think I found it. What do you know? Okay, that's good. Okay, so now they got the technical problems all ironed out. Okay, we're going to hang out here for a little while. And we're going to talk about step 3 of the 12 steps to recovery. Okay. Step 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. Okay. That's step 3. All right. Let's look over there. Why is that so dark? I didn't know it was coming out so dark. Okay, well, I guess so. Looks light over here. It's dark over there. Maybe that's just the computer screen. All right, not going to worry right now. Okay, so tonight we're talking about one of the most powerful steps of the 12 steps. It's a powerful turning point in recovery, and this is where things stop being theoretical and they start to become real. Okay. Real like this. Step 1. Let's get real. It says we have a problem. You have a problem? When you want to get sober, you better realize you got a problem. All right. So step 1 says we have a problem. Step 2 says there is a solution. But step 3, are you willing to trust that solution? Remember, step 2, we came to believe. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Restore us to sanity? What does that mean? It means you don't have any sanity. If you're using and abusing, drinking or drugging, or abusing your addiction, whatever it is, then you don't have any sanity. You're insane. Maybe not totally, but there's a slice that's insane. Okay? So step 3 says, are you willing to trust that solution? Step 2, what's the solution? Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Well, yeah. Are you willing to trust and believe that solution? Most of us didn't struggle because we didn't have any willpower. Okay, we struggled because we were relying on our own will. And our own will keeps taking us in the wrong direction. So step 3 is a decision, a bold one, a life-changing one. It's the moment that we say, I can't run away. I can't run my life successfully on my own anymore. I've got to do something about it, and I'm ready to let something greater than myself take the lead, take my hand, lead me in the right direction. Take my hand. That's making a decision. You made decisions before, plenty of them. You wake up in the morning, you start making decisions. What's the first thing you do in the morning? I'm going to do what? I make a decision to say, thank you, God, for waking me up this morning. List my gratitude list in prayer. That's my first decision of the day. What's a decision anyway? It's not a feeling. It's not something you wait for. It's a choice. You make your mind up to do something, that's a decision, right? You may not feel ready. You may not feel spiritual at all. You may not even fully understand God or how you look at God, how you feel about God. Even if you don't believe in God. Step 3 doesn't require a perfect understanding of God. It requires something we mention often, willingness. Are you at least willing? Are you willing to give it a try? You got to be willing. If you're not willing, then you won't get it. And you can go back to your drug of choice, whatever it is, back to your addiction, whatever it is. But you got to make a decision to be willing, at least, to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand God. As we understand God. I believe that means as you understand God. Turn our will and our lives over. That's everything. Turn everything over to God. Your thoughts, your decisions, your plans, your reactions, your future, everything. Turn it over, our lives, to the care of God. That's everything. The big choices, the small choices, over to the care of God as we understood Him. That means your higher power doesn't have to match anybody else's. It's personal. It's about relationship, not religion. I don't care what your religion is. This isn't even about religion. It's about spirituality. It's about changing you inside, believing in a higher power. Somebody was asked once, do you believe in your higher power? Oh, yeah. That's what he said. Oh, yeah, I believe in a higher power. This was in an AA meeting. We were talking to somebody. I don't even remember who it was we were talking about or talking to. It was my sponsor and myself, and I think somebody else was there at the time too. We're talking to this one person and said, do you believe in a higher power? Yes. Well, who do you think who do you consider your higher power? Expecting him to say God. Something along that line anyway. He said my wife. His wife was his higher power. I've heard that before too. Yeah. Your higher power doesn't have to match anybody else's. It's personal and it's about a relationship, not religion. It's about religion. Rather, it's not about religion. It's about relationships. All right? Your relationship with God or your higher power, however you decide to formulate that. It's up to you. Okay? Could be your wife, could be your husband, could be your partner, could be whatever. And it could be the Almighty. Up to you. The bottom line is you're not trying to control everything yourself. You're learning to trust guidance instead. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, well, my higher power is the Bible. It is the Bible. Or it is the big book. Or it is NA's book. Or it is whatever. You're not trying to control everything yourself. You're learning to trust guidance instead. Your guidance. So let's talk honestly for just a minute here, okay? If self-will worked, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. You know, a lot of people, look, I lived like this before myself, okay? A lot of us in recovery have lived like this. I'll figure it out. I'll fix it myself. I know what I'm doing. I know what's best. And sometimes that worked for a while, but not for long. You know, eventually we had to change that. We made emotional decisions. We reacted out of fear. We chased control. We repeated our destructive behaviors. Oh, yeah. So your self-will, yeah, it can work for a little while. That worked for me for a little while. Then I relapsed. And then it worked for me again for a little while, and then I relapsed. And then it worked for a little while, and then I relapsed. Yeah, it happens. But finally, I gave in, and I said, I've got to be at least willing to try this the right way. I had willingness to make a change. Okay. And that's when God came into the picture for me. Oh, yeah. I think about how many times did I try to control everything myself while I was trying to control my drinking, while I was trying to control somebody else's drug use at the same time. Yeah, we can all try our own way or what we think is the best way, because we know it all. Whether it's relationships, finances, emotions, or addiction, we weren't lacking any effort. Oh no, we wanted to make that change, sure, but we were going to do it ourselves. Well, step 3 says maybe it's time to stop being the manager and the director of the theater, of the show, and give that over to somebody else or something else. So what does it mean when you want to turn it over to somebody else? When you want to turn it over to God, what does that mean? Well, basically it means letting go. Letting go of control. Trusting that your higher power sees what you can't see. Your higher power sees your path already, right? You believe that? Some of us do, some of us don't. Yeah, you have free will, of course. Being willing to follow guidance even when it's uncomfortable. That's really believing. That's really turning it over. But it's important. Now, turning it over to the care of God as we understood him does not mean, and this is important, it doesn't mean you stop trying. It doesn't mean you stop making decisions. And it doesn't mean that you just become passive and a blob. No, you still got to be active. You still act. You still live your life. But the difference is that now you're asking, am I being guided or am I just reacting? Well, if you get in that quandary, here's a simple way to understand it, okay? It's like using your GPS system. You're still driving the car. I've had GPS take me everywhere but where I wanted to go. Back in the day. They're pretty good now. Excellent now, actually. I haven't had any real messed up GPS coordinates, but GPS. All right, you still drive the car, but you're no longer guessing which way to go. It's going to show you which way to go. Well, step 3 aligns perfectly with spiritual scriptures. Proverbs 3:5 and 6 in the New International Version says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Big one. That's step 3 right there. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In other words, somebody knows a little bit more than you do. That's one reason we get a sponsor when we start our journey in sobriety. We get a sponsor because they've got some time in sobriety behind them. And they're our GPS, part of our GPS. They guide us in the right direction to get sober, to get recovery, to be there, to get it. And step 3 is not a one-time decision at all. You practice step 3 every single day. Sometimes it's a moment by moment, minute by minute practice. So here again, this is how it works in real life. Okay, this is how giving it up, giving it over works. You wake up, and you ask God, God, guide my thoughts and actions today, please. Because if you don't, I know what I'm going to do. Think about it. Before you go to bed at night, say, God, thank you for keeping me sober for the last 3 hours, for the day, for the week, or just thanks for keeping me sober, period. You get in a situation where you feel that you need to react. Somebody says something you don't like. You need to react. You need to say something back. Just wait, pause, think, ask. Ask yourself. I don't have to control this argument, do I? Do I really? In this giant scheme of things, do I really have to control this outcome of this argument? Or respond to that comment, whatever somebody makes? When fear shows up, and I've had it show up for no reason at all, or for what I thought was a reason, but it wasn't really a reason at all. When fear shows up and you decide, in your own mind, you decide, look, I'm going to lean into trust instead of panic. Now, that's something I got to teach myself. Because even though I'm in recovery, I'm not perfect by any means. I'm still a work in progress. Lean into trust instead of panic. Good point. And then in step 3, eventually, there's the 3rd step prayer. And now in AA, I took the 3rd step prayer with my sponsor, which had a huge impact on me. Step 3 prayer is like this. God, I offer myself to you. Guide me, direct me, and help me let go of what I can't control. That's the edited version, but that's the meaning behind the 3rd step prayer. And you don't have to say it perfectly. You don't have to admit anything. You just have to mean it when you say it. Guide me, direct me, and help me let go of what I can't control. Most of us, when we started to get sober in our addiction, well, let's face it, we wouldn't be in addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or anything else, if we could control it, because we knew it's not good for us. We knew it was hurting us physically, emotionally, mentally. It was killing us. We knew that, but we couldn't control it. Well, the 3rd step prayer says, God, I offer myself to you. Guide me, direct me, and help me let go of what I can't control. And the bottom line is, it works. Because you let God work in you. So it works. Step 3 is not easy. Sometimes You'll have questions, struggles. You know, what if I lose control? What do I do? What if I don't trust God yet? What do I do? How do I know what God's will is for me? I don't know. How do I know? Big one in early sobriety, big question. Why isn't my life getting better more quickly? I mean, I got sober last week and nothing's changed yet. I mean, yeah, I'm not drinking, I'm not using, but I still, my bills still need to be paid. I still need to go to work. Why isn't everything coming together yet? Yeah, well, it takes time. Trusting in God takes time. Surrender takes time. And you don't need certainty to take this step. It is going to take time, but you've got to be willing. Okay, you've got to have willingness. You've got to be willing to give it a shot. What do you got to lose? Your life? So, bringing it all together. Step 3 is about make that decision to trust, let go of self-will. You can't do it yourself. And turn your life over to something greater, a power greater than yourself. And that doesn't mean that you become perfect. It means you become guided in your recovery. It's not about losing control, okay? It's about releasing the illusion of control. Did you really think you were controlling your addiction? Oh, I can quit any time. I would like that drink, though. Yeah. But I can quit any time. That's the illusion of control, right? Because, I'll quit tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Let's face it. What will you get out of it? Give up the illusion of control? What do you get out of it? Well, what do you get out of it? Something a lot better than what you have, and that's peace, direction, freedom. Freedom. Where's my freedom? Freedom. Freedom. Step 3 is where recovery stops being an idea and it starts becoming a way of life. Okay, this is where you stop fighting and start trusting. Okay, you don't need perfect faith. You don't need all the answers. You just need the courage to say, I'm through doing this alone. I need some help. Because when you turn your will and your life over to a higher power, you're finally stepping into freedom. Oh, not only that, but you're stepping into freedom and purpose and a new way to live. And God willing, a longer life, right? That's the bottom line. So, with all that being said, that's step 3. Summed up, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. There's a thunderstorm going on out there. And principle 3 from Celebrate Recovery, consciously choose to commit all my life and will to Christ's care and control. Step 3. You can't get there if you don't get step 3. Okay? You got to get all the 12 steps. So if you get 1, you get 2, you get 3. Well, you're a quarter of the way there, right? To full sobriety. That's what you need. That's what you want. You got to have it. You got to get it. If you want to live. If you don't, no. The drugs are still there. The alcohol's still there on every corner, just about. So knock yourself out, right? So that is step 3. I'm going to save my notes here. Okay. Super. Why can't I read that? There it is. Okay. All right. So step 3 is a real challenge, but you can do it. All it takes is willingness, right? Willingness. So it took me a while to get willing. Absolutely. Absolutely took me a while to get willing. I was out and about and partying and oh my goodness. I didn't want to give all that up. I was having too much fun. But of course, then the consequences started. And I have this allergic reaction to alcohol when every time I drink it, I break out in handcuffs. Every time. I love blue lights. I mean, I think they're pretty, blue lights, but I don't like them behind me with the spotlight shining through my car and telling me to pull over. I wasn't willing to give up any control. I was in control and I knew exactly what I was doing, and I was the boss man. I was the boss. Till I wasn't. Till somebody else was, and I was, how do I get out of here? Yeah. That was a kick in the head. But my head is hard as a rock. So it took, a little kicking there to get the message through. But it finally got through with God's help and the spiritual experience that I had that set me on the right path. It's up to you whether you take that path or not. You don't have to. Heck no. You can just keep on going the way you're going. But you know where that ends. I know where that ends. Keep going. If you don't want to stop now, it's not too late. It's not too late to stop. However, you got to get into the 12 steps of recovery if you're going to make any progress at all. That's my opinion. Some people can say, hey, I quit. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm through. And that's the last time they take a drink or a drug. Or whatever their addiction is, that's the last time it happens. If that happens for you, more power to you. God bless you. But most people find that doesn't work. In which case, you've got to come back to the 12 steps, get through the 12 steps, go to meetings, whether it's NA, AA, celebrate recovery, get to meetings, and for gosh sakes, change your life. You can do it. It can be done. I did it, and it's a miracle. It can happen for you. Absolutely. So, where are we now? It's about 9:13 Eastern Time in the U.S. So, be sure and hit the like and subscribe button so I can get this out to more people. And they'll join us in recovery, getting sober. Something we should do. If you're not in recovery now and you are in addiction, consider it. Consider making a change. Just think about it. Get willing. Before your whole life goes up in flames, because eventually those consequences will come in and light your life on fire. And you don't want that. You certainly don't want that. So with that being said, I think what we'll do is we'll take a pause here and we'll come back in a minute or two or three. Okay, so I'm back. All right. So I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be back on Wednesday, and we'll tackle step 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. We'll talk about that. Let's see, what else did I want to touch on tonight before we go? Let's see, we don't need that. This is a good one. 2 is for anybody out there that has the wonderful experience of relapsing. If you ever thought about it, or if you're getting ready to relapse, you better smarten up. Okay. Maybe have a little time in sobriety, a week, a month, or even some years, and you're just thinking about it. You're on your way to a relapse. If you stop working on your recovery, you're working on a relapse. And that's a fact. So that's something to talk about also, and we'll be doing that next time around as well. Okay. So, with all that being said, you still have a chance to get sober. You can do it. Get into recovery. Stay with me here on the channel at Aware and Convinced. Become aware of your problem. You might already be, especially if you've had consequences. And be convinced that you got to do something about it. And with God's help, you can. Absolutely. So on that note, I'm going to wish you a good night, fellow veterans. Good night. God bless you. God bless our veterans. And always remember, get sober. And somebody out there loves you. Don't you forget it. Bye for now. See you next time.